She walked onto the base like any ordinary civilian, her steps quiet, her eyes scanning the young Marines around her. Nobody paid much attention until a single glance revealed a secret that would leave every Marine frozen in disbelief. From which part of the country are you watching from? Drop a comment below. I want to see who's witnessing this unbelievable story. The base was buzzing with the typical clamor of drill exercises, engines revving, and orders being barked. Among the young Marines hustling through their routines, a quiet woman in her mid-40s appeared, carrying herself with an air of calm that seemed almost out of place. She wore casual clothes, a simple jacket over a gray t-shirt, and a small bag slung across her shoulder. She moved through the rows of barracks and training grounds like a ghost, noticeable only for her silence. Most of the Marines barely spared her a glance, assuming she was a visitor, perhaps a relative of someone stationed there. A few of them whispered among themselves, curious but not daring to approach. They had no reason to expect that this unassuming woman would soon turn their day and their understanding of the world upside down. The first hint came when Private Jackson, a young recruit barely out of boot camp, saw the glint of a medal hanging from her neck. "Is that?" he whispered to his friend, eyes widening. But before he could finish, the woman had already moved past him, walking with steady, unshakable confidence. Her calm demeanor belied the chaos that her presence would soon ignite. It wasn't long before the rumor spread like wildfire. Marines began to notice small details. The precise way she walked, the unwavering intensity in her eyes, and the aura of someone who had seen and survived things most could never imagine. Curiosity turned to disbelief, and disbelief turned to awe as her story slowly unraveled. She stopped near the obstacle course, leaning casually against a railing as if she had all the time in the world. A group of young Marines had gathered nearby, daring each other to ask the question on everyone's mind. Finally, one of them, a cocky corporal named Diaz, stepped forward. "Ma'am, who are you? You don't look like anyone we've seen on base before." She turned her gaze toward him, her eyes piercing yet strangely gentle. Then, in a voice steady and commanding, she revealed it. She was a decorated combat veteran, recipient of the nation's highest honor for valor. The room seemed to go silent, the chatter fading into an electric tension as the young Marines processed her words. Their jaws dropped as she explained the mission she had led, the impossible odds she had faced, and the courage she had summoned in moments most would call hopeless. Jackson felt his knees go weak. He had trained hard, but the challenges he thought were daunting now seemed trivial in comparison. Even Diaz, the brash corporal, looked like a student before a master as he swallowed hard, struggling to maintain his composure. Just as the shock began to settle, a twist took everyone by surprise. The woman casually mentioned that she was visiting to observe the training, not to lecture or lead, yet she subtly challenged the Marines to a test of skill. One by one, she demonstrated maneuvers, tactical precision, and agility that seemed almost superhuman. Every jump, every move, every calculated decision carried the weight of experience few could hope to replicate. The young Marines, initially skeptical, found themselves in a whirlwind of admiration and intimidation. They watched her scale walls, navigate complex drills, and execute maneuvers that would have left seasoned soldiers exhausted. One by one, they realized they were being tested, not in a conventional way, but in spirit, courage, and mental fortitude. Hours passed, and by the end of the day, the quiet woman had transformed the base. What began as whispered curiosity had evolved into profound respect. Marines who had doubted themselves discovered a new standard of excellence. Even the commanding officers paused, impressed by her ability to inspire, challenge, and lead without ever issuing a formal order. As she prepared to leave, the woman turned to the group, her eyes scanning the faces now brimming with newfound determination. "Remember," she said softly but firmly, "courage isn't about winning every battle. It's about showing up when it counts, even when nobody is watching." Jackson and Diaz exchanged glances, both humbled, both motivated to become stronger, better Marines. And as she walked away, the base seemed quieter, yet somehow more alive, a place now touched by her remarkable presence. The young Marines would talk about that day for years. They would recount how the quiet woman on the base, unnoticed at first, had become a living legend in their eyes. They had learned a lesson that no textbook or drill could ever teach. True valor often comes wrapped in silence, patience, and extraordinary courage. So if you want to see more stories of incredible bravery, moments that leave you speechless, and ordinary people doing the impossible, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Join our community, hit that notification bell, and experience these jaw-dropping tales with us. You won't want to miss what's coming next.